This On, Season 7, Episode 7, where we watched Selling the OC, Season 1, Episode 1. I'm Chris Lorenz, and I lost my notes.
I'm Christina Plumas. Newbie to the podcast.
Yeah, third time.
Friend of the pod.
Friend of the pod here.
Coming in to save it. I'm Catherine. Save the drama for your mama because they're coming in hot and I'm already confused. Dikiakos.
Don't get shit-faced. Get right below shit-faced. This is Brian.
Was Abraham Lincoln the first president? This is Max Alexandra.
And the only hour I care about is happy hour. So these are references to the show we watched this week. But last week, we watched Welcome to Wrexham, and we put a poll on Twitter to figure out if you thought it was good or bad, and you guys thought it was a top third show. So there you go. Let us know what you thought about this week's show on Twitter at Who Put This On. And Brian, what was this week's show?
This week we watched Selling the OC. Jason Oppenheim, owner of the Oppenheim Group, expands the company, opening a second office in Newport Beach. That's Selling the OC. Keeping it short and succinct.
Okay. So we've done Selling Sunset. We've done Selling Tampa. Now we got a new franchise, Selling the OC. Got a new spinoff.
Hot off the press.
Hot off the presses. Came out last week. Now, I wasn't a huge fan of Selling Sunset or Selling Tampa. But Christina, you big fan of Selling.
Big fan.
Selling Sunset, at least. You were here for our Selling Tampa podcast. And you were lukewarm on that one.
It's true. I think this one might have more potential.
Catherine, what do you think?
Yes. So I have only seen Selling Sunset, but I'm a big fan. This one, I feel like, I don't know, they started off real fast with a lot of people. And so I'm not sure if they're just trying too hard to like replicate the first one as opposed to just like doing their own thing.
But Christina,
truth be told,
were any of these people in Selling Sunset?
Only the twin brothers, the owners.
The owners.
Brett and Jason.
They're an interesting character in their own right.
They are. I think that they're just trying to show or to throw a bunch of characters and see which ones stick. And then as the season goes on, we're going to get to know like 5 of them.
Yeah, and sell a house. Because, I mean, when they put the Selling Sunset cast together, I feel like they were more legitimate real estate agents coming into it. Now, one girl was bragging about her 2.5 years in the industry.
Three.
So I feel like they're casting not only on like having your real estate license, but how you're going to appear on camera and the drama that you can bring with it.
Yeah. So essentially, this is a workplace drama show.
Yes.
Where it's just a bunch of realtors, but it's also like a house hunters kind of show where they show you crazy houses. So they're really trying to pull you in with some really nice houses and some really nice drama. I think it's clearly a Netflix, put these things on the board and they were like, what can we do? And this is what came out. And I think the houses are really nice in these shows. The drama is a little overplayed.
Yeah, it's just any subsequent season, they come in having seen what, the first season that they're trying to replicate now. And so they come in like, I know what I got to do. I got to bring it to stay on the show. And so it seems more manufactured. And so that's why I'm a little lukewarm on it starting out.
It is, yeah. So this show is, they started a Oppenheimer, like new realtor in the OC.
Yeah.
Supposedly like a year before the show started is what they claimed.
I didn't catch that.
But it's unclear. So this show, they show a bunch of houses, cut through 2 or 3 houses. Then they have a launch party and they have some sort of dinner event. It's kind of what happens this episode. And like all of these things kind of really introduce people and introduce the main drama of this realtor group.
Which
it's kind of like these 6 people versus 2 people, 2 Alexandras. It's really weird.
There's 3 Alexandras
Yeah, but-
in the show, which is goddamn insane.
But
But only 2 of them are.
two
are
of
the
them
bad
are
guys.
on the one side though.
The top
Did-
producing female team.
Yep. I think we can all agree the other Alex is like the main glue character of the show. She's the Carrie Bradshaw of the show.
It's true. She
Yeah,
does.
agree.
They're setting her up
seems-
for that.
They started the show with her, and they keep a lot of the confessionals were hers. She had a lot more FaceTime on this.
Oh
show.
yeah.
So I think we should start out with this first house that like they don't have a listing for. They're just like showing off this $106 million house.
It's like, oh, if you work with the Oppenheim group, this is the quality of house you'll get to see.
I think this is gonna be the main house that they're like trying to sell this season.
I don't like. They had people. The listing agents were there.
Yeah.
That wasn't them.
I think they
they're
just got
trying
on.
to find buyers.
Yeah, I think they just got on because they had a camera crew with them. I don't think that no one was bragging. Like in Selling Sunset, I remember some of the agents are like, "Oh, I have my buyer's looking for an blah 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 millions of dollar cash, whatever." These people aren't coming in with the like, "I've got the buyer for this $106 million house." One rang the bell because she just sold a $1 million house, didn't she?
I think so.
Yeah. So
Yes.
the only reason they're in this gigantic, gorgeous house is because they're on TV.
Yeah. Well, it's also advertising for this house.
But they
The-
didn't
the-
want it advertised.
But
Remember?
they do want it
They
advertised.
do want it.
They're on the
They
show.
definitely do.
We
They
gotta talk
definitely
about
want it
that.
advertised. I mean, it was pretty baller house. It was
I
right on the
mean-
coast. It had like a non-infinity pool,
parking for more than 25 cars.
a lot of parking.
A retractable roof and rotating bed to see the
So
stars.
weird.
It's a lot.
Opening roof over the bed.
Because I think
So
the
you
roof
can-
only opened like, 90 degrees, 100,
I think
80.
180.
180,
Yeah.
and then you had to rotate the bed accordingly. So there was like multiple factors.
So, some sort of Austin Powers bed here.
Okay, how do folks feel about a rotating bed? My opinion is that circle beds suck.
It's the silliest thing I've ever heard.
It's an-
Like I don't.
Yeah.
Circle beds.
Buy custom sheets.
I'm sure
mean-
somebody makes custom circle sheets.
Yeah, Shaq was able to buy sheets for his bed.
Well,
were
those are
definitely
definitely
custom.
custom. That's like the biggest bed in the world. Or something.
But yeah, rotating bed. You know what? I think like if it moved like 1 degree a minute or something, like it was really subtle, and then you wake up and you have a different, interesting view. That could be kind of fun.
What if it rumbled too? You put the quarter in.
No, none of that. No.
Can we talk about how this pool at $103 million house, out looking into the ocean, is not an infinity pool? Even though I hate.
Overlooking the construction site, you mean?
No,
No,
that's the other
different.
house.
Different house.
Yeah. This
It
one
was
had the
o-
private beach.
Yeah, private
Oh.
beach. Out looking
Okay.
at anything, you just gotta have an infinity pool.
It did seem like a missed opportunity. Also, I mean, if we're nitpicky, the kitchen seemed kind of small.
Well, that's not. They're not using the kitchen.
I guess not.
Right.
That is the
That's the help.
servant's kitchen. That's the help's kitchen. They even said it was like a chef's kitchen or something.
I want to talk
Nice.
about this private beach for a second. California Constitution guarantees the right to beach access to every citizen. There's no such thing as a private beach. So they're just lying.
I think they said private access beach. So like they have the only access to that beach.
Okay.
If you
So they put
swam
a
to it,
fence up to block the beach.
I don't think there's any fences around that beachfront.
Like
So yes.
I think there's this whole thing of like people pushing back against these private inaccessible beaches, like they're not supposed to be that way. I don't know. I'm not trying to get into
you
that.
might be right, Max. We don't know. We don't have Noah here. Shout out to Noah. We need you to do the internet cornering here.
He'll be here.
It's also just kind of a feature of the house that they say, like, in order to get to that specific beach, probably is like a pain in the butt. regardless. So, in essence, it's a private beach.
Didn't they also say it had the only private tennis court in Laguna Beach?
Yes.
Did hear
That seemed very surprising.
That's very surprising. Yeah,
Yeah. I
I
guess
don't
no
know.
one dedicates the space. Like,
I guess.
You'd rather
Laguna
just
Beach might be
build another house on
not that big of a neighborhood either. Really want
Or
to
it's on a hill.
it is
so
on a
it's
hill.
hard to get flat.
yeah, and you want to really prioritize the beachfront houses you can build, and not like every house we saw in the show had great views of just like into the ocean. It seems like
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
this area is just all about that ocean view. If you can't see the ocean, forget about it. No one's sold there. Can't live on the east side of an apartment building. That's got to be 50% off your rent.
Oh yeah. The other notable thing about this house was uncommon at this price point. There was a 3% commission for the buyer's agents, which would come out to about $3 million for one of our characters, should they happen to sell this place, which doubtful. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, there's only how many people in the world can buy $100 million house? Not many.
Mm-mm.
So
there's an
be
entire neighborhood full of them apparently.
yeah, I did think that like all the houses around them, are they also $100 million houses, or do they not have a tennis court? So it's not worth as much.
Entirely possible. Actually, it may just be the lack of rotating bed.
I think you're right. I think that is what really gets that price tag really up there. Let's talk about these owners, and like, so we get to the show, the Oppenheimer studios house. Oppenheim.
Yeah.
I'm saying Oppenheimer, the musician, the composer. They have everyone sitting at desks in an open office concept, all staring forward,
Like a classroom.
like they're in class waiting for the teacher to come in, and then the owners come in, and it's just nuts. Max, can you describe the two owners that come
I
in?
honestly don't know that I can, but I would say two sort of pint-sized pit bull types get out of their Ford Bronco, and yeah, just step into the place like they own the place, which they do, but they just look so goofy, so overcompensating.
They are
It's-
identical. They
Oh.
look exactly the same person. Like I could not tell you which one was Jason. It was Brett.
No, I've seen
And-
multiple seasons. I have no idea.
And they dress the same way too. Like they do nothing to help you try and discriminate between the two. They never discuss it at all in the show. Nobody is able to tell between these two. They live the same life. It's got to be fucking weird. This is Phil and Lil. Like,
It's like their mom's still like dressing them like, oh, my two twins, you gotta look the same. And they were just like, oh, we gotta look the same. They're just like, we're looking the
and-
same.
maybe that's what's going on here.
You know, maybe. So this guy was in the other show. Was he in the Selling Tampa, Christina?
Oh yeah, I don't know. Did they set up that one?
I think they were in it brief.
They're in this one briefly
I
too.
think they flew in for the party, but I don't know that they're actually the managing. I honestly can't remember.
Noah, we need you. We need to know.
Yeah, because didn't one of the women fly, the one with the accent from Selling Sunset, and she's in Selling Tampa? She was the bridge. I don't remember.
Anyway, let's talk. So they did this whole like speech thing, and they were like, we're going to have an opening party, and we'll get to the party in a bit. But like, that's just swanky camera movements to show these two people like come in their fancy car. And we all thought it was pretty funny.
And they had to sit on the tall stools while everyone else sat on the couches just to, make the
Oh yeah.
the height difference a little less noticeable.
No one was allowed to wear heels.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the next house we get to see. Alex and Kayla. Alex is listing the house, and Kayla has a buyer for the house, it seemed. And I didn't catch how much this house is worth.
I think that was $3 million.
Three,
I
yeah.
think they
Yeah.
said 0.99.
they said it. Yeah, so there's a $90,000 commission, I think, or something. I wonder if that's before or after Oppenheim takes his cut. I have to
Probably
say
before.
right?
Mhm.
So this was like the time in the show that they really luxuriate in the let's two of us talk about random drama that's going on between all the other people. And that's when I start to zone out a little bit.
Definitely.
Especially since we don't know who these people are.
Yes. You had like 2 seconds of all the names flashing with the pictures, and then they're talking about them real quickly.
I don't specifically remember what they were talking about in this, but I do remember there's, as I mentioned previously, the drama is between Alex, Kayla, and like Rose and Jarvis.
Alex Rose and Alex Jarvis.
Oh, yeah. Alexandra Rose and Alexandra Jarvis. Thank you.
Can I take a quick detour here? So there's
Sure.
an Alexandra Rose who I genuinely thought when they showed her on screen was Alexis Rose from Schitt's Creek. I was genuinely like, why is a character in a reality show? Anyway, yeah,
There you go.
that was an experience I had.
One thing to know about this house is they like walk in the kitchen, and Alex is like, we can resurface these cabinets and make them white. It's great. They'll fix it. I'm like, fix what? What is the problem here? What are you why are you doing the
drawers
cabinets?
drawers aren't soft close.
I mean, for a
Big
$3
issue.
million house, not having soft close drawers.
I thought they were
I saw her
soft
point.
close.
No,
No,
they
weren't.
slammed.
They said that's an easy fix.
That was an easy fix?
Yeah,
I thought the white was the easy fix.
the refacing the cabinets.
yeah, that
Also,
was an
easy.
easy
I mean,
fix?
you know, realtor just like say these things real quick. Just like she said, oh, construction in front of you means that you're living in an up and coming neighborhood where people are still putting in money. Like it's a positive, which it definitely is not a positive. But that's just their spin.
As their view gets partially blocked.
Yeah. And you're waking
Well, I
up to
don't know if-
construction.
Yeah, I mean, while construction is happening, it's not a positive. I feel like she is correct somewhat. I don't know.
Glass half full, I suppose.
I think if you just kept it as it's not going to go above that roof, I'd be like, oh, okay.
That's fine. Yeah.
And then who do I get to sue if it goes above that roof?
Yeah, that's the danger. I think
This
it's
is like, how do I believe you? Is my problem. Is my like, because that realtor's just gone at that point.
Mhm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. With their
You better do your
$90,000.
$90,000 on what
Yeah,
that
you
height
can't-
limit is.
You can't trust that person for sure.
Oh, yeah.
So that house, $3 million seemed pretty expensive for $3 million.
yeah. They kept
Definitely needs a hot tub. That's what they kept saying.
they were raving about the view, but it was like not. I mean, after you saw the $106 million house, then you were like, well, yeah. I mean, there's water out there, but like, there's also a ton of houses and hills in between you and the water.
Yeah. I mean, it's $1 million per house in your way.
Yeah.
You want that not you, and then double it for if you don't want any house in the way,
Right.
which we've seen. The other thing is they both got in this tub. Like there was a single person tub, but it was like a weird kind of like Japanese style tub where like it goes up to your neck when you're sitting down in it. So
Like
you-
a soaking tub? I don't know what you
Kind of, yeah. Yeah, honestly, it looked very comfortable. I would soak in that.
it seems like a real tub, like a real adult human being could go in.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you were back in the day and you had to like heat up your water and put it in the tub, this is like kind of a tub you'd probably have. Like, something
yeah.
that you could actually sit in.
Also, it seems like economical in a way.
But then like the two of them got in this single person tub and they're like this as really skinny people and they're like, all right, we fit in. It's two persons now. We'll update
I'll amend the listing.
We'll amend the listing.
It's like all those Airbnbs that's like, this sleeps 14 people, and it absolutely doesn't.
Yeah, it sleeps 6, but if you bring sleeping bags.
Yeah. 3 people on the pull-out couch.
All right, so let's talk about the next house we see is Rose and Jarvis, Alexandra Rose and Alexandra Jarvis's house
Oh.
together. It's the $20 million listing. It's 9 bed. and that's all I got.
The current owner has a collection of pens,
What was
Including-
the one Neil Armstrong's pen or something?
no,
No.
Abraham Lincoln,
Oh yeah, Abraham Lincoln's pen.
and one of them is like, was he the first president? And the other one's like, no, it was George Washington.
Well, yeah, but they. All right, I missed that. Yeah, that's pretty silly. So this is the highest house that it seems the Oppenheim Group has ever had. $20 million house. Am I wrong?
I don't think so.
Oh,
was-
certainly not.
Well,
I
in the
just think
OC?
the OC's only been there a year.
Oh. Oh.
This office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Got it. I thought you were talking about their other.
'Cause-
No.
Like OG season 1, they're selling like an 80-something thousand $1 million house.
$80,000 house.
Just shush, okay?
And this house, they claim to have gotten by cold calling or door knocking. Is that true?
Yeah, that's what they
Yeah,
say.
how
Does
the-
anyone believe that?
Absolutely
No.
not.
Do you think so? The other part of the drama they kept bringing up was, do you think that she slept with somebody to get that listing? What do you think, Christina?
I think there's more to the story than what they're telling us. That house, they did not get that listing from door knocking.
What about you, Catherine?
Yeah, I would agree.
Do you think that she slept with somebody?
No, not necessarily. But
do
I
you
think they're
she
gonna-
did?
But what?
But do you think she did?
But do I think she did? I'm not saying she didn't, I guess. I'm saying they're going to stretch out this drama all season and we're still not going to know for sure. But I agree. They didn't get it from knocking on doors.
Brian, you have to agree with me, right?
There is a 0% chance any amount of sex could make me go, all right, look, I'm going to pack up my shit, find a new place to buy, and
Yeah,
deal
but
with all
if
this.
you were like looking to sell your house and this realtor is willing to bang you versus some other realtor that was not going to bang you,
then I already have a person. I don't think that that's going to influence the decision one way or another.
Yeah.
you don't think so?
No.
Max, what do you think?
I got 3 words for you, Chris. Cold call girl. It's cold call girl. Think about it.
Pretty great.
Yeah, all right. I guess we'll probably never find out.
That doesn't answer your question. It's been on my mind.
If I had to bet, like Netflix played a part.
You think Netflix had to do with this $20 million?
Oh, yeah.
You don't think,
think-
her banging that person had anything to do
Or
with
her
it?
dad had a contact.
Look,
who had
I agree.
contact.
It was between the two of them. There were two, both Alexanders have it together. And the other one, Rose, I think, seemed to have a little more. She seems to be slightly more with it than. Than Jarvis.
You know,
Jarvis was the Abraham Lincoln's the president. I think Rose maybe has her stuff
She's
together a
the
little
one
more.
with 2.5 years experience, right?
I think so.
Jarvis.
Rose does.
Rose.
Rose is also, I'm going to say it, she's a bitch.
Oh no, I got them mixed up. It was Jarvis.
So the other big piece of drama in the show was that at some point, Alexandra Rose called Kayla a bitch. And then Kayla went to the bosses and was like, yo, Kayla or Rose, Alexandra Rose called me a bitch. Do something about it, or I'm going to murder somebody, essentially. And it didn't look like the bosses ever did anything about it.
No.
And
They were like, you two deal with this. Like,
and then Rose is like, "Oh, I did call you a bitch, and I'm sorry."
And she apologized. I mean, that's like rare on a reality show.
I thought that was pretty funny.
But it didn't seem to, bury the hatchet at all.
Definitely not. One of them, like, really just, took everything, did not fight back, just tried to settle it, and that you never see that in reality show.
Well, I felt like Kayla was being way over. Like, she called you
Oh,
a bitch.
yeah.
It's not great. Maybe you should be like, "Hey, I don't appreciate being called a bitch," and like we could have squashed this in 5 minutes, like when you said it.
Mm-hmm.
Versus like now it's like festered in her mind, and she's always going to hate this person for like essentially no reason.
Okay.
And everyone in the office is involved also.
Yeah, and now all the bad vibes between those two are like bad vibes between everyone. There's a bunch of he said, she said bullshit going on, and it's just like,
Well, that was the thing. So they throw this big launch party, I don't want to jump ahead, but they throw this big launch party, and then it's all the agents in a circle, like discussing the drama. And I was like, if I was a buyer coming to this and I saw all their agents just like yelling at each other and being snarky, I'm not sure that's where I would list my $20 million home.
But
Oh
you,
yeah.
you did sign a release to be on that reality show though when you were at that party.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but these are really homes that they're actually selling. Do you think that would actually do anything to bolster business?
No,
No.
This is for the show.
This is just show.
So this is how Selling Tampa started too. Was like we're gonna interest people, see some houses, then we're gonna have a launch party. Like this is beat by beat the same show.
But also, we don't even know who was at the launch party because people with that much money, most of them don't have interest on being on this reality show.
Yeah.
There's no one actually trying to sell or buy their house. at this
That's
party.
probably true.
No.
Like
It's just their friends.
even in Selling Tampa, they were like, "Yeah, I'm going to bring my client. Here's my client." Like they did some groundwork to like make you believe
Yeah,
some of the
this-
people were coming that had real money or a real house to sell. No one, they did
No.
none of that.
I don't even think they got the cast from the other office in Beverly Hills to come to the launch party.
No,
like,
I
they
don't
didn't
think
feature
so.
Anybody.
Yeah, this is for the show.
Yeah.
This is so we could squash the beef at the big party.
They probably just hired actors to be there.
They are pretty close to Hollywood. Yeah. So I mean, that's kind of the whole show. Was they saw 3 houses?
They had the big pizza party where they just
Oh.
talked drama.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
skipped that. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing
That-
important happened there.
No, just drama festering.
See, I don't mind the show when it's like we're looking at houses, and you know, you want to have
Mhm.
some drama while we're looking at houses. But while you're making garbage pizza in your like kitchen, like I don't need that.
Yeah, if they cut that shit out.
We don't
Mhm.
know enough about the characters to even care yet.
Well, I mean,
So
you gotta. I mean, they gotta set some sort of groundwork a little bit,
yeah,
or maybe they're just trying to like fast forward and hope that you just watch like 20 episodes in a row.
yeah. See, I think that's where Selling Sunset got to. But I was already so involved in the stories of the characters that I cared. But in the early episodes, it's mostly them trying to sell houses.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like the part of the interesting behind the scenes is like what goes into these huge deals. You know, how do you get in? How does your buyer, do all this stuff? And I have like very little confidence that any of these people can even sell a house. So I don't expect there to be much of that this season. Which I agree, between seeing the cool houses and then seeing like how they get buyers in to do it. That's the best part. The drama is fun only because you're already like invested in the people in the show.
Yeah, I think they're trying to skip too many steps here.
I think
Totally.
so.
All right, should we get to some questions then? Any other drama that people want to bring up before we
Oh.
move on?
Well, anyone do a Google search? Because I wanted, so there's the guy Tyler on the show, who is the 4 generations of OC real estate.
I thought
And
that
he's
was
married-
Geo.
Oh,
I don't
Okay,
remember.
maybe my
I don't
notes were-
remember a
I
Tyler.
think they said Tyler too.
but Tyler is married to Brittany Snow, who is an actress who's in Pitch Perfect.
Oh,
So I Googled her to see like what she was in because I recognized her, but I couldn't remember. And it said in that like really quick montage at the end of like coming up this season, Kayla tries kissing Tyler like a couple times. And so that's like, which I couldn't even tell because I can't tell the guys apart on the show. They all look the same. So that I think they were sort of alluding to. And so the whole drama now is like, oh, she's trying to kiss a married man and blah, blah, blah. And so I
Well,
think
that's-
that's going to be one of the main storylines.
see, here's the thing. If that were the drama on episode 1, I'd be way more interested than like she said something mean about me or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that's juicy.
If they like teed that up a little more, I think they really did show parts of it, but I had no idea what was happening. And so I missed it.
Yeah, we didn't do a lot of research before we started the podcast. Maybe we should have. I don't know.
I think it's fine.
Yeah, it's okay. Let's do some questions. Who is the worst human being this episode?
Geo. Geo's pretty
You
bad.
think it was Geo?
What about Polly's husband? Remember, he cheated on
No.
her.
Oh,
Oh,
Prostitutes.
but
Oh,
was he
yeah.
in this episode? I would
Oh,
say yes.
true.
Yes, he was
Yeah.
in spirit.
sorry.
Wait,
Gio's
what?
just a tool.
Polly's husband. She only talked about him in a
The British
confessional.
girl.
Oh yeah. I mean, this whole like beef thing between Alexander Rose and Kayla. I feel like both of them could be nominated for this shitty situation they kind of put themselves in.
I mean, there's only one person that's like the worst on that, and it's the person who just called somebody a bitch for no reason.
Yeah, but then you let it. Then Kayla let it fester. Like,
Yeah, but that's just,
I mean, just like she's
That's-
just bringing bad vibes to the whole office.
I agree, but
Mhm.
somebody started those bad vibes too. Like, it's like
I agree with you.
she
Th-
could have been
I-
better about it, but at the same time,
I mean, I give it to you. One is worse than the other, 100%. But both of them deserve like some of the blame here for that whole situation.
all right,
There's no real host, so we'll skip that one. Would the show be better as a Quibi or a TikTok?
I think.
they're alre-
Sorry, go ahead.
there are already too many people and too many storylines. There's no way you can compact it more.
It would definitely be a different show if you put it as a Quibi. But like seeing like a house, like you could clearly show a house in a Quibi, but then you wouldn't have like the whole drama really around it.
I think it'd be a better show if they did that.
You're not wrong,
Yeah.
Max, but I would say that I would be a different show. You could, I think theoretically, a lot of these reality shows could be like a TikTok where they post a couple times a day about different drama between what's going on between people.
That might be
But-
more entertaining.
And that would be, but it would be easier to miss things that are going on because like you don't always see TikTok. So I'd say no.
I definitely want to see baller houses on TikTok though.
That's true. I'm sure that exists.
Probably,
I
I'm
gotta
gonna seek
do
it out.
some
This.
digging.
You gotta
Yeah.
do like look for some realty stuff on TikTok. I'm
I'll
sure
send
there's
you
a
the
lot.
talks, Brian.
Done deal.
There you go. Who's gonna hook up next?
Tyler and Kayla, apparently.
All right.
Spoilers.
There you
What-
go.
Yeah.
I think Alex and one of the bosses.
Yeah, for sure. She was giving off a
Ooh.
lot of Chriselle vibes. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, it's only a matter
Wait,
of time.
did somebody bang the bosses already?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Rochelle
What?
selling Sunset, but I think it's Brett is forever a bachelor, but Rochelle thought she could change him,
Oh.
and so shocker, he didn't want to have kids, so they broke up.
But he's like, all I hear about how crushed he is that the relationship ended and blah, blah, blah.
So it could be good rebound.
Totally.
Yeah.
Seems
Depending
kind
on
of
what the show- depending
seems
on
kind
what
of
the show-
unprofessional to fuck one of your underlings. I
Well,
don't
before
know.
that, he dated Mary.
Oh yeah, the other top agent at
And so they're like,
Always
oh,
like that.
Mary only gets the good listings because she used to go out with Brett. It's sort of how they base their entire business model.
Yeah, I mean, how rich are these people that they own like multiple real estate companies?
I
Like,
looked
how-
into it. One of their great grandpas had like a real estate company in LA in 1880. So
Yeah,
like
I think they
Oh.
said they're fourth or third generation too.
Yeah, you gotta be.
they
if you
rich
did
as fuck.
You definitely did it wrong if you're not super rich at that point.
It says Brett and Jason are each worth 50 million
So they can't buy that $106 million house.
together.
Not
I
even
mean-
together.
Together.
I mean, I'm
they'd
sure
be
With
they
a
like-
could-
discount.
I'm sure they
Well,
get the
if they
loan.
put in their commission, then they'd get an
Oh, yeah.
extra 3.
Oh.
They'd be
yeah,
close.
that'd be good.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
what a mortgage is for.
yeah, they can afford it. Just in 30
They'd
years.
get approved for that
Yeah.
loan.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw a curveball on this. Gio and a client, like, because he's gonna try to hit on everybody.
Gio's married too.
That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, but-
Yeah. Well,
Gio
I
It's
know.
and a
just,
client.
just a word.
Yeah.
It's a good.
Fair enough.
What do you think the production schedule of the show was?
Oh,
I feel
man.
like this is things we could know, but we'd never look up.
I think they're filming it all in like 2 months.
I mean, that would make most sense.
Probably.
It
But
depends
that's
on like how much time happens between like listings and showing. Because it's really dependent on how many listings you can get. Because this show's real boring.
And
with
these
no
big listings, like they don't sell quickly. So maybe they do a lot and then they like come back a couple months later.
Maybe during COVID they did though. Who knows?
Oh,
Housing market was pretty hype then.
that's true. Was this filmed? Do we know when this was filmed?
No one is wearing masks. That's all
No,
I
but
know.
I don't think they do in the OC. I think they kind of didn't, based
Yeah.
on
That's the home
Housewives
of Reagan.
OC.
It's where the California Republicans are.
Yeah.
The rich California Republicans.
Yes, sorry.
Just
I'm gonna say 2021.
It says it was filmed between July and October of 2021.
so 4
Things-
months.
Giant.
3.5 to 4 months. Let's do drinking rules. So I think you got to drink for every $1 million a house is worth that you see.
All right, so you've killed people.
Oh, yeah. I was just like, I just realized
That they actually sell, maybe.
that they actually sell. Sure, yeah. So they sell the $100 million house. Get a couple.
then you're at a party and you're sharing.
Get some
those
friends.
Get a
shots.
keg. Brian, you have a drinking roll?
Drink every time you see a baller car. That guy Gio rolled up in a Ferrari.
Max, you got one?
Every time you see an exciting new way to show off boobs, take a drink.
Oh yeah.
Catherine, you have one?
I would say anytime anyone says cold calling or door knocking, especially in the same breath.
Christina?
Anytime they mention that there's more than one Alex or Alexandra in the office, take a drink.
That's pretty good.
It's a good one.
Anytime you roll your eyes at some sort of drama that you're like, that's not a big deal, take a drink.
I'm going to the hospital.
All right, let's move on to.
What about a shot for every rank over 10 that Gio ranks himself on a daily basis?
Oh, yeah.
God.
We didn't talk about a couple of minutia items about like Alex, just like her boobs are out the whole time during the show, which one of our rules was about. And with Gio was the one that ranked him. He was like, from 1 to 10, I'm a 15. Like not even 11, 15.
Yep.
I thought
He's
that was,
not lacking in the self-confidence.
No. Drives an orange Porsche for Orange County.
oh yeah, he's the quote unquote tool.
Mhm.
Somebody called him.
They needed to cast.
I thought his orange Porsche was more red, personally.
It kind of was.
Yeah.
Do you think that they cast this show, or they hired realtors?
That's the big question, isn't it? I mean,
Do they hire the realtors based on their willingness to be on the show?
Yes.
yes.
But they also have to fit a certain stereotype.
Well, they got to be hot AF.
Well, if you're selling homes of that caliber in the OC, like I think chances are you look a
You
lot.
also
You're already going to
be
fit
hot.
the bill. Yeah.
but
Fit
they're definitely being age discriminatory.
Oh, yeah.
Because they could have. I'm sure there are a ton of successful agents.
Well, the only
over the
normal
age of
looking
40.
agent was the one there were two agents in that $106 million house, and one of them was like a normal looking like middle-aged woman who probably was very successful working for a long time, and then there was like a hot one there next to her just to like throw her in the mix.
We got to have the hot one. Got to be willing, the one willing to bang next to them.
The one willing to wear the high heels at all the listings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how
And
it
the
works.
Spiral glass bottom staircase.
The other minutia we didn't talk about, which amazes me, is that there was the one woman that had like she had a kid at 17 and her parents kicked her out, and like it was just sob story 101, and it was real sobby.
It was a legitimate sob story.
Yeah. But and the people on the show didn't really know how like sobby. it
I
was.
don't
They
know about
claimed to
that.
not know. I have to say that all of this drama seems pretty fake, but like it was pretty acted pretty well. I thought for the most part.
I'd agree.
Let's see. Let's do what do you love about the show, Brian? What do you love about the show?
I actually like that I'm getting to see some cool stuff that I would never ever get to see otherwise. Like I don't think that even that $100 million home would ever be on TikTok.
Uh,
I mean, maybe, but like, I don't.
you've seen Cribs before.
Yeah, but that's also very. Okay, I get that Cribs, but like I've even seen like some garbage homes on Cribs.
Max, what do you love about the show?
No, I don't hate the show. You know what? I would say the Netflix garbage music machine is in strong force here. Just like the weird music between scenes that like makes no sense and the lyrics are awful. It's in all their reality shows.
I was just gonna say that I liked the music for the show.
I am so sorry, Chris.
Oh, and Max,
I was gonna say I didn't even pay attention to the music, so
The
now
music-
I will.
the music is good in this show.
It's loud.
By good, we don't mean quality. We
Yeah,
mean
yeah, it's something that I like about the show is their music selection.
Mhm.
At least for me. Max might think that's a little too strong,
You guys
but
can agree to disagree there.
Catherine, what do you
But-
love about this?
I love the dramatic drone shots where like they're talking on the balcony and then whoosh, you're like way 500 yards out in the ocean and like seeing the overhead.
Christina, what do you love about this show?
I'm kind of along the lines of Brian. I like seeing these insane houses where there's a rotating bed and the roof opens. But I also like how that's sort of mixed in with your typical reality TV drama.
Yeah, I love the music, and I like seeing the houses. I think the houses seem to not like this is a $3 million house. I'm like, this doesn't look like a $3 million house.
$3 million was like unimpressive. I'm hoping they get some better. The OC should have some very good houses. So
Or they're
Mhm.
just all overpriced because
I think the inventory cannot be that big. Like Hollywood, where the original, I mean, they've got a ton of places to deal with. I think the like Laguna OC, it's not that large. And so there's got to be a ton of competition. If you're a new agency, you know, they might not get the best listings.
yeah, whose territory did they step on?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, should we get
More
some drama
drama.
with the other realtor
Ooh,
network?
that would be good.
that would be some good
If
drama.
it was like instead of selling OC, it was like selling the OC versus I don't know, like the Property Brothers, and they have competing realtor groups in the same area. That'd be good.
Would be good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's you really want the competition, I think. All right, let's do ratings. So we have a stack ranking system. We do top, middle, bottom, third, compared to other reality shows. Brian, what do you got for me?
I'm gonna do bottom of the middle. While I thought the show was fun, I'm gonna pop on some other shows before I pop another episode of this on.
What does that mean? You're gonna pop Selling Sunset on, or you're gonna pop like
No, like
you're gonna pop 90 Day Fiance on before you pop this one on? Like, what does that even
Always.
mean?
I would pop on Claim to Fame before I pop on this again.
Okay, so you're saying it's middle, and that's just you don't have to say you watch other shows before this one.
Well, yeah, because like
It's
I
we've already
want-
determined there's shows higher than this one.
yeah, but like, well, I'm saying like there's only like small segments that I'm here for, and then after that, I just check out.
Yeah, that's why you need the fast forward button is the
TikTokify this.
thing. Max, what do you got for me?
I'm torn, but I think I'm going to go middle third, top of the middle. I did not have a bad time watching this show. You know, yeah, I was bored for a minute or two there, here and there, but it was fine. So yeah, middle third, top of the middle.
Catherine.
I'm going to go middle third. I had high expectations because I do really enjoy the original. And I'm hoping that after a few episodes, I get into this one. But as of now, middle.
Christina.
I'm going to give it an optimistic top third, lower of the top
Oh.
third, but I'm going to say I really need the next episodes to focus on the houses and the selling process. So I will fill you in because I'm sure I'll finish this season.
So it'll be top. Like, I mean, I'm sure there's other shows you'd finish that wouldn't be top third, but I am gonna have to put this in the bottom third. Surprisingly, Not surprisingly, probably. Like, I don't care about the
Yeah.
drama. I don't care about the sob story. I did like watching the houses, but like once you've seen $100 million house, everything's just going to be disappointing after that. And no infinity pool, bottom third for sure. Noah watched the show and he sent me his thoughts. So let's go through those. Middle, bottom of the middle. These are Noah's words, not me. Okay, I'm just reading them. I like the tour of cool houses, but the drama is a bit too clearly fake, and I don't like that at all. Like that, all these people are very good looking. I do give props to the single mom, Alex, trying to crush it. Gio seems to be the worst person. He likes Rose, and I think everyone else is a hater. He said his quip would have been, "I'm 29. I always forget you're not 30," which was another quote from the show.
Man, that was a real like speed run.
Yeah,
But I feel like he touched on all the points we talked about.
Yeah.
it's true. There you go. There's our TikTok of our review of the show.
What is one thing you would do to improve the show?
I would spend more time on houses, less on drama.
Or at least make the drama good drama. Like, don't make it about just randomly calling somebody a bitch.
Name
Yeah.
calling.
Like,
Yeah.
I
Make it
cannot-
sleeping with a married man drama.
Yeah, that one's okay.
I just can't believe that people in that office aren't calling each other bitches all the time. Like,
Right.
I know. That's the
That
part
is
that I was
so
like, wait,
unbelievable.
that's what we're arguing
Yeah.
like I
about
thought
here?
the C word was about to come out of her mouth because I'm like, there's no other word that you'd be this upset about.
No.
Chris, if you call me a bitch, like, I'm not gonna worry about it.
Yeah, I know. And if you did, I hope you'd be like, hey, I don't appreciate me calling you a bitch, like a normal human being should do.
Yeah.
Unlike then let it fester for months, being like, Brian, at Halloween, I can't believe you called me a bitch. And then I'm like, I did? What? When did I do that? Like I probably have no memory of that.
No.
I think to improve the show, they need less characters.
Yes, cut down like
Oh.
half the agents, and you'd still have
Ooh.
plenty of people.
Yep.
You
and
only
plenty of
need
drama.
1.5 Alexandras.
Or introduce them later.
Yeah,
That's usually that's what usually you're supposed to do.
Yeah, if you need more people, introduce them as you go. But yeah, there's too many to start with.
well, and it wasn't. If it was like an ease, like watch them all get ready for work and then show up in the office, I feel like we would have had a little more understanding of who everyone was. But we saw like the first Alex, and then everyone else really quick, and then they were all in the office, and drama started.
Then there's a pizza party, which was also just like all of them talking to each other and not really like introing themselves. So it was a lot of time
Right.
them talking to each other that you didn't get a sense of who they really were,
No.
which is, makes this even harder.
Good question, Max.
Well, Noah brought this question up. So
Good
shout
job.
out to Noah.
Good job, Noah.
Shout out to Noah.
Before he listens to this and then is like, what the hell happened?
I have one.
Go ahead.
So we were talking about this being a workplace reality show, and I started thinking of Vanderpump Rules, and it dawned on me that the Oppenheim Group should rebrand to SUR, Sexy Unique Realty. And that's
Sir. Big
Yeah.
Sir Realty.
in Vanderpump Rules. That's the name of the restaurant, Sexy Unique Restaurant.
Oh.
I
okay.
never
Sorry,
knew what
deep-
SUR
That
stood
went over
for.
my
Deep
head.
cut, deep cut.
All right. So you can tell us what you thought about the show on our poll on Twitter at Who Put This On. And we'll end the show with some shout outs. Brian, you have any shout outs over there?
I can't believe we forgot about this last week. House of the Dragon.
Oh,
on.
yeah. House of the Dragon. Back. Game of Thrones is back.
Oh.
I'm optimistically excited.
I'm pretty excited.
I'm not excited.
You're not excited? It's
No.
fine. You don't have to be. Two guest hosts today are not interested, and that's fine. Matt,
I was not expecting it to be good, and the first 2 episodes are good. So,
Max, do you have any other shout outs this week?
yeah, shout out to libraries. Shout out to getting audiobooks from your library. I can listen
Yes.
to Stormlight 4 while walking my dog and pay $0. It rules. 10 out of 10.
There you go.
Library.
Catherine, you have any shout outs?
I finally finished Only Murders in the Building, which you talked about the last time I was here, so I'm only 2 months late. But
Well, season 2 just ended.
oh, okay. Well, I just binged them all together, so
you're
I
good.
caught up.
We all just
Oh,
finished.
okay, great. I'm totally with it. Anyway, I thought it was good. Excited for next season.
It's true. I really like the season. My one complaint with the season is that it didn't give really many clues to who did it.
I agree.
Like, not enough. Like, I had no idea. And I don't know if there's any reasonable way you would have known who it was. Like, even knowing who it was now, and if I watched it again, I don't know if I'd see any clues to know who did it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Probably not.
So that for a really good mystery show, that's what I want. So it was good. It was a really good show,
Mm-hmm.
and just a good mystery show.
Yeah, they kind of wrapped. I felt like they did wrap it up really kind of quickly at the end, like you said, with no real.
Like,
Like
they explained how
breadcrumbs.
she did it, but then you're like, you didn't really see any of that. So it's like,
Don't give any spoilers.
Yeah, you just spoiled what the gender is of the killer.
Or he.
or he. Sorry.
Damn.
There's
Not
a lot
knowing
of
anything
women on
about
the
the
show,
sh-
so-
fair. Not knowing anything about the show, is it a different mystery for season 1 and season 2?
Yes.
Each season is a different murder.
And it's got Steve Martin and Martin Short.
Yeah.
So it's
Steve
It
Martin
let us-
Short.
Mhm.
yeah, it led us down a path of watching Father of the Bride last weekend.
It's true. And
Great movie.
Yeah. It was an enjoyable time. Not my favorite movie, but I feel like as a kid, you probably might like it more. I don't know.
Yeah,
Just
it
wasn't-
definitely was different.
It
watching
didn't hold
this
up.
Time. If
It's-
Steve Martin wasn't in it, it would be a garbage movie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's fair.
It just wasn't as funny as I wanted it to be. But Steve Martin always can bring something to a movie.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think
Wait, I got my
you
shout
you
out.
have a shout out? Go ahead, Christina.
New season of Sister Wives starts in 1.5 weeks. Get
Oh,
ready.
Lots of drama.
man.
Oh, and the new Shaws of Sunset. No, not Shaws. Real Housewives of.
Shaws of Sunset.
Well, no, it's Jen Shaw. That's why I thought Shaws of Sunset is a good show. But the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City trailer dropped today, and that has the whole Jen Shaw who got indicted on like conspiracy. This isn't ringing a bell for anyone.
Hell yeah. I don't know
Okay.
what you're talking about, but that sounds incredible.
We'll be back for that episode and Sister Wives.
Yeah, I do remember somebody getting indicted
Yeah,
while
like
they
the
were on the show.
yeah, the FBI like stormed the filming of the show, and now this season she is going to trial.
She's out on bail.
Oh, can we watch that episode?
Yeah, I don't know
Did
when
they
it.
air it. The
No.
one where the FBI stormed.
Oh yeah, that one.
Okay, well, we'll put it on the docket to do. There's so many new reality shows that like it's nuts. I think
Tis the
we went-
season.
we talked about Only Murders and House of the Dragon, so those are my shout outs. Go watch those. And that's it for us this week. You can find us on Twitter at whobuthesong. You can find us on facebook.com/whobuthesong. You can email us questions and suggestions at whobuthesong@gmail.com. And I think we'll be off for a couple weeks here. Depends on if somebody wants to pod, but I won't be on the podcast for a couple weeks, which means the podcast is probably not going to happen. So
We'll see what comes up.
Watch an old
Stay
episode.
tuned.
Yeah,
listen to an old
listen to an
episode.
old episode.
Well-
See if you could go find you the jury somewhere in the ether and watch
Ooh,
that.
I got a best
Some sort
of
of daily
episode,
emotion.
and might now go find you the jury and
Yeah,
Put-
if we can
pull the
find
clips.
you the jury link, we'll let you know. All right, we'll see you guys next time.
California
girls were
undeniable, fine, fresh, fierce, we got it on lock. West Coast represent, now put your hands up. Oh, 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 oh.